Thursday's local elections saw Labour hold its 4 key East Lancashire councils, but the Tories win back overall control of Pendle borough for the first time since 1979. Blackburn with Darwen, fought on new ward boundaries, saw Labour consolidate its stranglehold on the council with 37 councillors. The Conservatives had a disappointing day, notching up 13 while the Liberal Democrats dropped to just one representative, CLLR Roy Davies, in the new Darwen East. Labour also held Hindburn, Burnley and Rossendale comfortably. Pendle was the chink of light for the Conservatives as a net gain of 1 seat combined with the return of suspended councillor Rosemary Carroll gave them a slim majority of 1 over Labour and the Liberal Democrats, who had run the borough in a coalition for 3 years. A highlight for Labour was the election of Blackburn with Darwen's first 2 female councillors of South Asian heritage, Saima Afzal and Mariam Batan. But Executive Member Arshid Mahmood failed in his bid for election in the new Billing and Beardwood ward, which returned 2 Labour councillors and 1 Tory, Julie Daly. Hindburn saw 7 Labour councillors and 4 Conservatives elected. The big shock was the defeat of Labour cabinet member Ken Moss in Riston by Michael Miller, one of 2 Tory gains. Former UKIP councillor Malcolm Pritchard, standing as an independent, was ousted in Milnshaw ward by Labour's Andrew Clegg. The second Conservative gain saw former Borough Mayor Marlene Hayworth win back St Oswald's, formerly held by the late UKIP councillor Paul Thompson, by just 17 votes from Labour. Sarah Britcliffe held St Andrew's ward for the Conservatives, a seat vacated by her father Peter after more than 33 years on Hindburn Council. Burnley saw Labour keep its firm grip on power as it won 7 out of 15 wards up for election. The Conservatives won 2 and the Liberal Democrats 3, with former MP Gordon Birtwistle holding Colclough and Deerplay. The shocks of the count were victories for Green Party candidate Andrew Fewings in Trinity Ward and UKIP's Tom Thomas in Hapton Park. The Burnley and Padiham Independent Party gained 1 of the 7 seats they contested, with a victory for Neil Mottershed in Gano Ward. The Liberal Democrats lost 1 seat overall in Burnley. Pendle saw the election of 19-year-old Tom Whip in Barnoldswick's Coates ward in Pendle, a rare gain for the Lib Dems. He joins his father David on the council after he held his Craven ward for the party. This left the Lib Dems with 9 representatives on Pendle Council, unchanged by Thursday's voting, as their candidate David Clegg lost via Vearybridge to Conservative candidate Victoria Fletcher. Labour held on to all its wards to stay at 15 councillors. But with the Conservatives gaining Marsden ward after the retirement of the BNP's Brian Parker, they took control of Pendle as RB's CLLR Carroll, suspended in August last year over sharing a racist joke on Facebook, was readmitted to the party after diversity training. In Rossendale, Labour kept control after losing 1 councillor and a scare for their leader Alison Barnes, who held Goodshaw ward by just 39 votes. Hindburn Labour MP Graham Jones said, "Overall it was steady performance for Labour. We held our key councils of Blackburn with Darwen, Hindburn, Burnley and Rossendale. The public were clearly happy with the way we are running them. Pendle was the disappointing exception to this reasonable day." Rossendale and Darwen Conservative MP and Northern Powerhouse Minister Jake Berry said, "The highlight was undoubtedly regaining control of Pendle. Burnley and Hindburn were clearly a disappointment for us. We made good progress in Darwen, getting 9 of the 15 councillors in the town elected. The Conservatives also made progress in Rossendale, cutting several Labour majorities." Blackburn MP Kate Holler and Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn's private parliamentary secretary, said, "I am really pleased at the results, especially the election of Saima Afzal and Mariam Batan." Pendle Conservative MP Andrew Stevenson celebrated on Twitter, remarking, "We have just won a council we didn't even win under Margaret Thatcher."